Hey, my name's Drew. If you found me here on YouTube, you've probably seen me post some course vlogs. If you followed me on Instagram, you'll have seen maybe a bunch of different stuff from gym-based work to golf swing, speed chasing, technical swing changes, and then the just random swings as well. So far on this channel, you would have only seen course vlogs. That was sort of my way of getting my feet wet, trying to learn how to use a camera, learn how to edit, learn how to deal with color, learn how to upload and do all those things. I'll continue to do that because I'm still learning all the time. But just to kind of say hi, give you a little background on me, and then kind of what the channel goals and what kind of like future stuff will contain. So again, I'm Drew. My background is in strength conditioning and sports science. So owned a gym in San Diego for close to 10 years, training youth athletes and then basically doing personal training with their parents. So parents in the morning, kids in the afternoon. Of those kids, some got drafted to the NFL, some went on to play Premier League soccer, some are Division I All-American lacrosse players. And I kind of started working with people from anywhere in the 8th grade range, and then they kind of stayed with me through college and then off into whatever they did after that, or if they stopped post high school or post college. So that was that. Then I went on to get a master's in strength conditioning and sports science. That led me to sort of a job change into a sport technology company, where I was a senior sports scientist and product owner of a dual force plate company, working across like all major sports, whether that be NFL, MLB, NBA, Premier League soccer, kind of like anybody that was doing something physical at a high level. That was kind of our world. That then led to me having twins. I had kids, left that work around the start of COVID and got back into golf. I played high school golf a little bit, but with the kids and kind of things changing, desire to get back to doing things that I sort of was passionate about, I picked up golf and golf instruction. And something to get me back to being somewhat competitive, I picked up this sort of search for more ball speed. Again, just for fun, just to give me some sort of competitive drive to get back in the gym, kind of doing things I enjoyed. And that's been the reason that came about. So with that said, on this channel, the goal is to, I guess, show my work. So sort of show what I'm doing, whether that be training in the gym, nutrition, mobility recovery stuff, technology I use to monitor the whole thing, trying to help in that regard. With that said, I have a business called Next Gear Golf with a partner we co-founded. His name is Landon Evans. With all that said, there is a Next Gear Golf community where there's deeper content, more question and answer, more personal interaction, whereas this is sort of me just showing my stuff. This is just sort of, like I said, showing my work for me personally with my specific needs and requirements associated with it. So with that, kind of this first kickoff video will be very quick outside the introduction and sort of plans. The goal is a video a week. If I do more than that, great, but one video a week would be quite a bit. There still will be course vlogs, but people out there do better course vlogs than I'll ever do. They're just kind of fun. So I'll let those people do those matches and all that fun stuff. I'll just kind of do what I do and what I enjoy. Is just kind of maybe being a little helpful, but really just showing what I'm doing. See if anybody picks anything up along the way. So I'll do a little voiceover of the training I did today. It was a little sporadic because of the rain. I didn't quite get to do the speed work that I wanted to, but I'll let you take that, and hopefully this is a helpful page. Feel free to reach out. Check out Next Gear Golf on Instagram. It's at Next Gear Golf. And then I'm on Instagram at dcooper86. All right, thanks for following, and appreciate the support. Okay, so like I said, underway with the training session. I started with an elliptical and then a dynamic warm-up that I didn't film just due to time and space, but basically just got sweaty, did some mobility work for the hips, shoulders, upper back, and then we get into these things we call continuous capacity swings. both dominant and non-dominant side. I'm using the stack because it can get heavy. So this is like 490-ish grams, which is quite heavy. If your standard golf club's 350-ish grams, something like that. And all we're doing is just these continuous swings where we're basically building up a specific endurance and tissue work. Then we move on to just some single leg strength. There's nothing special about the rear foot elevated split squat, but it's easy on my pelvis. So I was gonna keep it brief, but head-on car accident. Left hip, left shoulder, left side of my neck and upper back are kind of like the areas I struggle with. And if I bilateral squat or deadlift or do anything kind of on both legs through a full range of motion, I tend to get like issues in the left hip. So this is just an easy way to apply some stress that is joint friendly to me. Nothing crazy, couple sets of 6 reps for me. Not using heavy weight. I think these are 40-pound dumbbells. Then we superset that with I did a feet elevated push-up with a weighted vest. So this is a 35-pound weighted vest. It's actually a 50-pound vest, but I have 35 pounds in it. Just doing a couple sets of 6 in between the split squats. Now, push-ups tend to be beneficial because they're a closed chain exercise. You get some core engagement and you get some scapular stability work, which is really good. Now, this is one that gets me. Single leg RDL. What you'll notice is some instability on my left side. Again, the left hip in particular is a problem for me. And what you'll notice is that when I do these, especially on the left side, my pelvis has a tendency to want to rotate. So my right side of my pelvis wants to sort of rotate up towards the ceiling, and my belt buckle would point towards the wall to my right. Yeah, okay, I'm saying that right. And that's sort of an issue with sort of like, I guess, muscle strength, muscle engagement on that left hip. Right side is far more stable. This weight is not challenging, but I'm trying to do this in a way where I keep my pelvis very level, keep my belt buckle, sternum over the left foot so that I feel the adductors and hamstrings and glutes engaged and working rather than feeling like this is like a back exercise. Now I'll pair this with a bent over barbell row. Now again, this is quite light for me, but what I'm trying to make sure I'm doing in this early part of training is make sure it feels like things that should be working are working. So the upper back and then the glutes and hamstrings. I don't want to feel like this turns into a low back exercise. It will, like the low back will work, but I don't want it to feel like that's the brunt of the exercise. So kept it light, made sure things feel good. And then I went to some dead bugs. Again, looking at that pelvis and like keeping control of the pelvis while the limbs move. That's my big goal. So I kind of reach out opposite arm and leg. I'm doing some breathing stuff to try and keep the ribs down. So I'll exhale and reach the hand that's up to try and keep the ribs engaged when the hips move. Now, when I lower my left hip, obviously you can't hear it because I'm talking, my left hip in this extended position will pop on me. And so that's kind of the reason for doing this, is to try and get it as extended as possible before it pops and then kind of hold that. Then this is just call it like a shoulder series, a shoulder circuit. Again, nothing special early on, just looking at general strength, general muscular endurance, general health, okay? So I might fast forward through this because it's moderately long, but it's just a series of shoulder exercises, getting the shoulder blades to move all over the place, getting the shoulders to move all over the place, getting the upper back involved, because when you think about a golf swing, the shoulders need to adduct or move across the chest. They need to internally rotate. So lead shoulder will adduct and internally rotate and flex to the top of the backswing. The trail shoulder will abduct, externally rotate and flex. And then everything kind of reverts and it kind of goes the opposite way in the downswing. And ideally you have a lot of freedom of movement in order to kind of get a longer hand path if I'm going to chase this ball speed thing. And I don't want any sort of discomfort. Anytime you've got discomfort or pain in any sort of joint, your body will end up basically trying to avoid it, especially at high speeds. It just seeks comfort. So if you've got these issues, sort of nagging issues in certain parts of the body the goal early on, okay, so I'm saying early on compared to when I'm going to push my club speed. So it's still raining outside, it's still cold. Summertime will be when I push. So far away from the speed work, I am going to do this general work that's not really going to enhance my speed, more so set me up to do speed work and specific work to increase speed in a healthy manner and not just kind of be hurt all the time. So the shoulder series is almost over. Again, what we do, we did scaption, field goal press, bent over reverse flies, and then that, what do you call it? Like a prone Y. Now we've got the iron neck. I know this is one of those things, probably people are going to leave remarks about how it looks funny, but the iron neck's fantastic. So you'll see me doing circles, and you can imagine as I turn, that line of force or the line of stress will change, and like parts of the neck that are activated will relax, and then other parts will kind of turn on. And so it's this very cyclical engage, disengage, stress, no stress, just like a golf swing. When you rotate and swing through a golf swing, the neck undergoes big ranges of motion, and it kind of goes, say the left side of the neck is working to the shoulders rotate quickly and the right side of the neck works. So the iron neck's fantastic at keeping the neck prepared for those high velocity swings that require huge shoulder and neck range of motion. Again, if you're going to push speed sort of, I don't want to say strenuously, but if you're going to push speed to sort of a level that is difficult. And this is how I end the session. So the neck, the shoulders, you'll see me do stuff with the wrists. You'll even see me do stuff with like the lower leg. So like the calf, the ankle. All of this is just to generally prepare the body to do things like intensive jumps, intensive swings, and to do it pain-free. So at the end of this, I'm just going to plug a couple swings because you'll see the huge range of motion through the neck, the speed the shoulders unwind at. And the goal is to make all this stuff go faster this summer and reach 225 miles an hour ball speed.